Hey there. Did you know that most of the population reads at an 8th grade reading level? And I'm one of them. If not that, I will read at a lower reading level because when I was a kid, I didn't read because it was hard for books to really grab my attention. There's a very low amount of books that have been able to really keep my attention. And I used to read I feel like up until I want to say 1st grade is when reading started to suck because it was always assigned to me and I didn't want to do assignments because homework was lame or something like that. But I'm 32 now and I'm feeling the repercussions of that attitude because while I can read, it's really hard to read, if that makes sense. My critical thinking skills are not what they could be. It's hard for me to form my own opinion on things. I feel that my lack of reading is what led to this. I used to think critically about games and I think just absorbing some kind of art that gives you a different world perspective is enough to increase critical thinking skills. But when it comes to literacy, I do not have critical thinking skills, or I don't have good critical thinking skills. Or maybe I do and I'm just really hard on myself. But I guess that's what we're going to explore with this video, because I came across a book at a bookstore that brought back memories. It's called Dragon Rider. When I was a kid, I wanted to read this for a few reasons. One, I love dragons. Dragons were my thing. They were my obsession. 2, the cover is just gorgeous. It's a really nice looking cover. And yeah, I feel like I should have a third thing to say in that list, but I just don't. So you're gonna have to deal with it. This is a book that I really tried to read for a book report in school. And the way I would read books, I don't know if it was ADHD or dyslexia or autism or a combination of the 3, but it was really, really difficult for me to just sit down and read a book. And it's still really tricky for me to just sit down, read a book, absorb the text, imagine what the words are saying, and be able to form an opinion on those words that I read. God, I space out so much when I'm trying to talk. But yeah, my book report on this book was just me looking at the pictures, reading the chapter titles, and just writing my own book because I couldn't be bothered to read on my own. And the teacher didn't read this book. They didn't read it. So I was able to get away with doing that. And here I am suffering the consequences, the intellectual consequences of doing that. So reading this book is more than just, what is this book really about? It's a redemption, reading this book. It's a book report redemption, 2. I haven't done a first one, so there's no 2. Look, I'm juggling school, I'm juggling a full-time job. I'm juggling full-time school, part-time job on weekends and trying to retain a hobby at the same time, because like hobbies are just good for you. Oh my god, it's so hard. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just give you a book report on Dragon Rider. I almost called it Dragon Quest. That's not what this book is called. So, here we go. Also, full disclosure, I'm not exactly the most expressive individual. It's been a while since I've just talked to a camera, so I'm not very charismatic, and I'm not the greatest conversationalist with a camera. So I'm gonna be putting game footage over this. I haven't decided which game I'm gonna put over it yet, but this is mostly going to be like kind of a podcast experience, and if you want to look at something, you can look at whatever game I'm playing. So yeah, here we go. I've read at the moment, on this day, April 19th, it's at about 7:30 p.m. I have read the first chapter and half of the second chapter. The first chapter starts with a rat that's like, oh gee, oh man, I told them this would happen. And she's trying to go wake a dragon named Fireheart. But on the way, she is stopped by a brownie. Now, as a child, this would have confused me, because I didn't know that brownies were a type of mythical creature when I was a child. They're kind of like gnomes. They're kind of like furry gnomes. But brownies, it would have confused me. I would have asked my dad or my mom, like, what's a brownie? And they'd be like, you mean like the chocolate bake treat? Like, no. Oh. In this book, it says, the rat snapped at the furry fingers that were holding her tight, but all she caught was a mouthful of brownie hairs, which she furiously spat out. Brownie hairs? I'm probably spending too much time on this. Also, the rat says the word, like, it says that the rat says something peevishly. And peevishly is a new word to me, and I really like it. Like, if someone talked peevishly at me, I'd be like, aw, you're peevish. The rat doesn't have a name, by the way. The rat's name is just Rat. The rat wants to tell the dragons that humans are coming. They spend a lot of time like, what's going on, rat? Oh my god, it's horrible, it's horrible. Yeah, but what's going on? You never listen to me, you never listen to me. And they're like, can you just tell me what's going on, you rat? But yeah, the rat just wants to tell the dragons that humans are coming to take over their home. And then Fire Drake wakes up Slatebeard, and then Slatebeard organizes all of the dragons to meet up. And that's chapter 1. I like chapter 1. It kind of introduces... It doesn't introduce much about Fire Drake, just that he's a dragon. But it establishes the main issue. Like, it establishes what's going on. That the humans are coming, and it's not good. I think it's a pretty classic human representation that mythical creatures don't like humans because of how greedy they are, and that they have short lives. So hopefully they'll explore that a little more when the actual human character is introduced. And then there's chapter 2, which I have not finished reading at this time, but I only have like 4 pages of it left. What I never noticed. Okay, so it's tangent time. When I was in a psych ward, I was like, I need to do something with my brain just to like see where I'm at. And I chose to read books. I looked at their bookshelf and they had a mystery novel. And I was trying to read this really densely written mystery novel that it was saying something about like there was a flood and water was like rushing into the church, but like every other sentence just wasn't registering with me. Granted, I wasn't like psychologically all there at the time, but there was one book that did. Actually, I'm gonna go grab it. I just remembered I don't have it anymore because I put it in a little library. But it was the first Chronicles of Narnia book, The Magician's Apprentice. Or The Magician's Nephew. One of the two. Anyway, that book I could actually read. I enjoyed reading it. It was amazing reading that book. Like, it inspired images in my mind. I don't know if it made me think philosophically about anything in particular, but it made me think about the writing style. And like, you know, that's a book made for like, I want to say like maybe 3rd graders. Where was I going with that? Children's books, like the text is very large. So even though like the text is very large and spread apart a lot. So even though this looks like a really thick book, it's not like, God, this is a 500-page book. God damn. It's gonna take me a long, long time to read this. Anyway, the point is, God, I don't have anything to say. I feel like I'm stupid. Like, medically. Like, I'm a good person, but it feels like there's something that other people have in their brains that I just don't have and have never had. And I don't know if my education system failed me or if I'm just like this and I'm trying to be better. You know, I have a thesis for this video, which is a very, very, very overdue book report on Dragon Rider. That and I'm biting off a lot right now. Like, I'm just saying, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a Jenny Nicholson style read through of a book. But can I really do that? Shouldn't it be my own style? Do I have to, like, copy the style of other YouTubers all the time? And then I have to edit the video, which is gonna be annoying to do, because I have to edit around my random silences while I think of the next thing I'm gonna say. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'm just having like a book club with myself right now. And chapter 1 is self-loathing, seeing the road ahead and dreading it. Like, I want to make this video. Like, I really do. But it's the work that I don't want to do. And that's a terrible reason not to do something, because you don't want to do the work. But I also have to cut myself slack because I have so many other things I want to work on. You know, I need to finish my associate's degree. I need to go to work on weekends. I need to find a job. I want to, learn how to make video games. That's what I should be making a video about, the games that I've made. That would be fun. Sorry that only like 5% of this has actually been about Dragon Rider. And then the rest is just like self-reflection on myself. But maybe that's the power of reading. It's not about the book itself. It's about the thoughts that come after reading the book. Like, what did reading this book do for me? It got me thinking. But like, none of my thoughts really like relate to the book, because in the book it's about these dragons that learn from a rat that greedy humans are gonna come and flood their canyon. They're gonna tear down all the trees and they're gonna flood the valley that they live in somehow. And the dragons think, well, great, we have to go find a new home now. I don't know why the brownie is there. The brownie doesn't seem to serve any purpose other than to be like a comedic sidekick that just like complains about stuff. The brownie does have like insight on human behavior. Let me see if I can find it. Like Sorrel, the brownie, gets like angry at the thought of humans because of how greedy they are. Like, nothing is ever enough for a human. And you know what? I relate. Sorrel would probably hate me because nothing is enough for me. I have ambition. I have drive. I wanna make this video, or this, I guess it's gonna be a series of videos, because I can't really, it's gonna be years before I finish a fucking 500-page book at the rate that I'm going to be reading it. Nothing particularly from this book has been relevant to any of the thoughts that have come to my mind as a result of reading it. You know what? It was really nice just talking to you. It was really nice talking to the camera. Whatever game footage I put over it, I'll link like the Steam page for the game if the game was fun to watch me play. Actually, it probably doesn't. Actually, you know what? It's gonna be The Hobbit, probably. The Hobbit doesn't have a Steam page. Well, I guess that's it for now. I have some reading to do, so I'll see you next time when I read the next chapters.